Hi guys, and welcome back to Masters of Trading. Today we have a video on one of our latest indicators, the Weis WhippTREND, and this is one of our elite indicators, and it's this video is being created really as a general instructional video on the indicator and also on how to reverse engineer like the multiple time frames. So it sounds complicated, but it's not. When we get going through it, you'll understand that it's a cool skill to have, and you can use it for other indicators. But when it comes to the entries on WhippTREND, it's amazing. I did a screenshot the other day, so let's have a look at the weekly. So let's go into Bitcoin weekly, and okay, that's because it's all the 4 hours. So I can go into this indicator here, and I can change this to W, and I can change this to W, and then that is that. And because we are on that, so let's change that to Brave New Coin, which is the one with the most data. And you can just see how powerful this is. I'll get rid of all the drawings there. So remove drawings. So even going back through time with Bitcoin, this has been such a powerful instrument. Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. And then this is back in 2013. And one powerful way to use this is identifying a trend line. So you've got a trend line here going across these, and once you break it, so then your trend line could then become, support and resistance kind of thing. So let's pull that down to here. You can see that coming towards this resistance, and you've got the green candles, which shows you that the WhippTREND is bullish. When it goes green towards that level, you know that there's buying pressure there, and it's probably going to break that level. So it works there. We have greens here. So let's create our trend line down there. Okay, that respected it there. It's gone green, then it's gone red, and it kind of sneaks through the red with a bit of green. A bullish candle there before they become super bulls. And you can see you get the bullish cross here. So let's put in a vertical line there. That is our buy signal on WhippTREND. And then we can also add another part of this indicator, which I'll go through in a minute, is the Weis histogram. And it's a special adaptation on this. But you can see on the Weis, before you even get to the actual buy signal, it has turned bullish on the volume. On the look back of 1 and the look back of 2, it's bullish, and you see that WhippTREND is bearish and it's pushing down, and the price isn't going down. So it means it's been sucked up. People are buying this, and it's never going to break this level. So Weis turns bullish. You get your bullish cross on WhippTREND. Let's have a look what's happening on RVol at the top. This is our version of RVol, which is relative volume with the price. And you can see here, it's just turned bullish here. You've got a little green dot there. It's turned bullish there. And then it's off to the races. Crosses the 1, which is a bit like a 0 cross, but it's a 1.0 cross. It turns bullish there. So you would have had a confident entry there with a very relative short stop. And it's off. It's off to the races. So let's go back to the, let's clear drawings, remove drawings. Let's go back to the 4 hour 240, and we'll go there. Can't do that on this. Let's go to BTC USDT, and we'll go to Binance, and we will change you now to the 240, and we will go to the current time. Okay, so this is the 4 hour. And let's change this. That's actually quite cool. Change this to the 4 hour 240, and let's change this to the 240. And then what it does is the candles will be colored in with the correct whip trend setting, and the higher time frames are also set to the current time. So that means it doesn't have any confusion in the candles. The candle coloring is solely based on if the whip trend is trending. So you can see here that we have a green. So we have a very light green. I'll zoom into that just to show you. So there you can see a dark green, and then you can see lime, orange, and red. So the dark green is the signal line, the green is the EMA of 2, the orange is the EMA of 3, and the red is the EMA of 4. Whenever they are trending with the 2, 3, and 4 in line, that is when you have a fully green candle. The only confusion you get is when price is crossing and you don't have a full bearish, which is 2, 3, and 4 on the inverse, and it flips over, the moving averages flip, and then you get your full bullish on the 2, 3, 4. So the market goes up. And also here, one thing we've done with Weis wave here is we have the look back of 2. So I'll just show you that. We have the look back of 1 and 2. So 1 is the little histogram lines and 2 is the columns. So it shows you the bigger trend, and then it shows you the short, sharp reactions of the volume. And whenever you have a situation like this, where you have a column and then you have the green histogram on top, it's a potential reversal signal. But it's probably not the best way to go, because the market has done this really nice push down on RVOL. So then RVOL, it retraces and then takes another push, but it doesn't make a lower low on RVOL, even though the price comes back to that resistance level. So it shows you the bears aren't in control. The bears are scared to sell down there because it's of the risk to reward. So you have divergence here on RVOL, and you have your whip trend bending around nicely. You have this little bit of confusion here, but coming to this, you can just see your whip trend is about to cross over. And you have your bearish column, which is a look back of 2, and you have your bullish histogram, which is a look back of 1. And that's a really good reversal signal there. So you could have taken the trade there, you could have waited confirmation here, and you could have taken the trade there, and you would have had 4, 8, 12 hours of wondering if you've made the correct decision. But RVOL has started to trend bullish, and whip trend has started to trend bullish, and it was the correct decision. And then you have all these supported by beautiful lime green candles, and your lime green all the way up until the top of here. So that's just a little bit of how to use the whip trend with the addition of Weis wave. But what we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to fine tune it for the time frame you're on, and then how to reverse engineer that for another time frame. So what we're going to do here is we can see here that Bitcoin makes a high, makes a higher high, and makes a higher high again. But on RVOL, it makes a high and then a lower high, even though the price made a higher high. And then over here, it was kind of level. So that gives you some question marks about the volume isn't, the relative volume and price isn't supporting the actual price movements. And this was basically just a stop run for people who've put the stops in above here, just to create liquidity. And the market turns over nicely with, again, divergence here, with RVOL making a lower high here. Price makes a tiny bit of a higher high. And here, whip trend kind of does a bit of a final push there. And there's your reversal of the Weis wave. There's your confirmation of a reversal. So that would be a sell position on the white candle. And you have the confirmation of RVOL going bearish. That would have been your sell. So then you had your nice purple candle, and it was straight into a nice bearish run. And then this is the alternative. And then this is the reversal trade we were just talking about. So one way to tweak whip trend is we go into the indicator. We go into the indicator, and we can go to the period and the smoothing period. So these are the default. I'll show you the higher time frame 1 and higher time frame 2 in a minute. But to say we want to pull this in to be a bit more accurate on the buys and the sells, we can start reducing these down, and let's see where it takes us. So let's take this to a 14. So we can see everything pulls in a little bit there, and that's good. Like, because here you have the buy signal on WhippTREND. You also have the buy signal on Vice Wave, and you have the buy signal up there. So you would have been in like a couple of candles earlier here. But maybe we're not completely happy with that. We want to pull it in a bit tighter. So let's maybe have a look at 1010. Okay, so 1010 takes us there. That looks kind of nice. That's a sell there. That's a sell and a buy. Okay, that's a sell there, which is in the middle of there. That's a sell there, which is a good sell. So then let's have a play again, 8, and let's go to here to 8. Okay, so this is looking even nicer here, and as well as the divergence, so from this peak and this peak, the divergence on the RVOL, we also have divergence here on our WhippTREND, and this bearish cross coincides with our bearish Vice wave, and that would be the candle to get in, even though it's green. That was the candle to get in on the sell. Or if you're worried that you know, there's good news out there, PayPal buying Bitcoin, Morgan Stanley buying Bitcoin, you could just create your trend line, and even then a more aggressive trend line. So from here to here, so you've got this low here and this low here. When you see this kind of situation, you're like, okay, well, if it breaks this trend line, it's got to at least come back and test one of these levels or carry on down. So maybe, you know, for confirmation, if you're scared about that green candle, or then you get the purple, that could have been your confirmation. So looking at this chart here, price goes up, down, shenanigans, and then another liquidity run, and then you've got a lower high here, so nice divergence here, nice divergence on the RVOL, and then price takes a tumble down here. Nice move, but in a nutshell, this looks quite good. We know here that the WhippTREND setting of 8, 8, and 2 is pretty good. Even that sell there, that's a good sell. It's pretty good for matching the 4 hour of buys and sells. Obviously, there's some confusion in here, and then there's some confusion in here. But we can go into that later about why you wouldn't take these trades. Or we can even do it now. Let's do it now. So if we go into WhippTREND, we have this. I'll change this to the day. We'll put that one on. Okay, so what we have here is the red line, which you can see here, is the 882 on the daily time frame. So then what we can do is put the background on. So here we've got some background stuff. So you can go show background for current time frame, which will show you that when we're fully bullish with WhippTREND, you have current time frame. So if we turn it, it shows you we're bullish from here, and this green background kind of coincides with the current time frame being in a trending environment, and then you see it turns bearish, and then when it's trending there, the background turns purple. So the background, we're going to turn it off there. We're going to turn it on for the daily, and then we can see what's happening with the daily. So one thing here, the daily has turned into a sell here, and there's a lot of selling going on. And then there's this back and forth with the indicator, which can confuse a lot of people. But one way to look at it is that, you know, the daily was bearish and the current time frame was bearish, and it wasn't making lower lows there. So this means that whoever was buying here really saw this as a good price for Bitcoin, and that it was going to go higher. So then you have the market reverse, and yeah, it never really looks back. So we're going to get rid of that. Going to get rid of that. Going to get rid of you, and we'll put you back to 240. So we know that the 88234 is good on the 4 hour. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to put this over to a chart here. Okay, and I'm going to transfer this over. So I'm going to say apply these indicators to entire layout. So now we have a duplicate, and we're going to change this up here. We're going to go to the same symbol on both, but we're going to change this to BTC USDT. And we're going to click on U, and there we go. So this is our 4 hour on the left. Let's make it a bit smaller. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we know that the 8823 on the 4 hour is pretty magnificent for giving us a bit of an indication as to what is happening. So one thing we can do here is we can add another WhippTREND indicator on, and we can do that, and we can go to changing this, so we can turn this into an 8 and an 8 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. But we are going to turn the current time frame off because we want the 4 hour. So 240, 240. So whichever one we choose here out of the higher time frame, we are going to have the 4 hour on, and it's going to be the 4 hour at 8823. So here we have the 8823. So this time frame then, if I turn this one on, we're going to go for red. Okay, what's happened there? That's not going to 15 minutes. Apologies, 15 minutes. Thank you. Okay. So here, and we'll minimize you for the second. So what we have here with Bitcoin is we have this peak, which is here. We have this peak, which is here. And then we have this big sell-off. But what we have here, so if we look for where we actually have the crossover on the red, so this red line here is the 8, 8 and 2 setting from the 4 hour. So if we look where the actual crossover happens, you will see on the left-hand chart, that little red cross there. So we can see that that's a sell there. So once we've got this sell here on this chart, it confirms there with our red sell-off. So what we know there is we can turn this on now and we can add the background, and this turns into a sell here. And then once it's turned bullish, it turns into a buy because the background is green, it's trending higher. So one way we can utilize this with our trading is by putting this on, and we are going to go for let's just make sure I've got that. Okay, that's that one. So this one I am now going to put on somewhere like the default settings of 10, 21 and 3 and 4. And we're going to turn off the bolt crosses. No, candle colors we're going to keep off. Okay. And we're going to show it. So what do we have? We're going to zoom in. We're going to go back to that little area of the double top. So this is our double top area. So we've got here, we can see on the left-hand chart on the 4 hour that price is just starting to bend over. We can see here that RVOL is tickling over nicely. We can see that WhippTREND is ticking over nicely on the 4 hour, and we can actually see that transferred onto this chart here. So we can see when the 4 hour turns bearish, we are up full on bear. And then ideally you need to just be looking for shorts. So you could take this short and then you would have been in drawdown, but trust your strategy and trust your indicators. And then you've got this one, you've got a sell here. So if you sell on that candle, and even if we take worst case scenario that you sell on the close, you place your stop above. You had 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes before you're in nice profit and it's gone. And you could have moved your stop. If you trade with stops, you started with your stop there. and then you move your stop here when it's done that nice big candle, and then when it goes down to there, you move your stop here, and then it's gone down there, and then you're here looking like it's going to, I'm going to make this a bit, I'm going to pull this in a bit. So we're going to go for 1014. Okay, that's better. Yep, so bearish cross there. Yes, same again. Okay, goes down here, turns into bullish there. Once it turns bullish there, you basically, when the price makes a little push down there lower, you are following that aggressively with your stop, and then you're stopped out and you've made a nice bit of profit. But again, you're looking for bearish crosses because your 4 hour is bearish. Your 4 hour is doing this. And this is indicated on your chart with your purple background and the higher time frame for there. So you would sell here. So you would, let's pull that in a bit more. We can do, but I don't want to like curve fit it, so to say. So V, let's go here. So this is a sell. So this was a sell here. This was a sell here. This was a sell here. So even if you sold all these, sell, 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 pump, pump, sell. And all bearish, yes. So they all actually tie up really nice with that's a good sell there on the RVOL. You sell on that. So even if you sold on all of these with the 4 hour bearish, we can go to horizontal line. So let's say you enter a sell there. H for horizontal, Control and H on the Mac. Say you sell there. Say you sell at the top of that one. Let's say you sell on the bottom of that one. And let's say you sell on the bottom of that one on the close. And then you sell on the bottom of that one. So by this time you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades open. Nice small trades. And then the expensive ones, once the market has made a nice move, and bearing in mind you're keeping an eye on your relative volume. But if we go and add a trend info line, and we do from this point to this point, just a touch lower than that maybe. Okay, so it's flat, it's 0, 0. So price made a lower low here. And your RVOL didn't make a lower low. So people are just seeing this, they don't really want to be short in Bitcoin there. So they don't. And the market reverses. But all of these are winning trades, because for all of these, you could be drawing your net stop loss. So on the top of here. So even at that point, where your stop loss is, for example, you've pulled it down, you would have 3 profitable trades, 3 at a loss if it really reversed fast. And then once it's done this nice push down here, you could have gone for the top of maybe this bunch here. And then the market does start reversing. You have a bullish cross on here. You could either cover the trade or you could get out of it. But either way, or if it hit your stops, you've made 6 winning trades. So let's clear drawings here. So remove drawings. So this is one cool way to do this. And another way we can reverse engineer is by trying to match that red line. And this is also quite a cool way to do it. So for this, we can put this on and we can go for 100 and we can go for 100 for smoothing. And that's not looking too bad. So let's go for 150. Okay, that's looking quite good. And let's go for 150 there. Okay, that's looking quite good. So what we can do, instead of having a 2, 3 and a 4, we can go for a larger spread on the moving averages. So we can go for a 4 and a 9 and a 14. And we can see what that looks like. Okay. And we can change that because we want it all to be the same time frame. So we can change these to the 15 minutes and we can change this to the 15 minutes. And then we'll have our candle colors back when we put that on. There we go. So this is another cool way to do it. You're basically getting the 4 hour. And I'm just going to increase the screen size here. And we're going to go like that. So 15 minutes. So here again, and this also shows you the power of this. So you have here a trend line from here to here. And you have a trend line from here to here. And we can actually see, and this is something that I've taught my elites, but the angle here is 13 degrees up and the selling here is 10 degrees down. So just with the angles, you can see that the selling pressure is, it's only pushing like 10 degrees, where the buying pressure is a bit more aggressive. It's at 13 degrees. So when you get this compression here and price compressing, your 4 hour in this smoothed version has already turned bullish. So it's all gone green here. And then you get the breakout and the pullback retest and off it goes. It's all green. So it's an amazing tool. Such an amazing tool. And here you've got this. So let's have a look here. But this is basically, we can even say here that this is actually a range. We can say that this is a range. We've got buy-in, it's not breaking that level. Then we've got sell-in, it's not really breaking that level. So let's go to around there. Sell, and it's not breaking this level because of this support and support here extended across. Then we've got this buy-in and it's not breaking there. And then it's like this steady, strong sell-off. And this range is going to be broken. So it's gone red here. It takes a little nibble there and starts pulling back. So the people who've had short entries in below here, they've just been wicked in. And then the market goes against them. They panic, they're selling and all the rest of it. And the market just rolls over, as well as our 4 hour smoothed version is like super bearish, and it just pops straight through there and straight down. And then at the bottom of here, we can see here we have price makes a low, RVOL makes a low, price makes a lower low, RVOL makes a higher low. So this would have been a really good indication of a potential reversal. So anyway, that's just a bit of playing around with the indicators and the reverse engineering. If we go into the indicator itself, you have the showing the higher time frame. So you can do this for higher time frame, and you can go maybe like the 30 minutes and maybe the 45 minutes. Okay. And one thing you're looking for here is, if I just take those spots off, come on. Okay. So one cool thing here is that you've got the 30 minutes and 45 minutes, the bearish here. Good reversal there because of divergence on RVOL. Price goes up. This is a nice squeeze to create buyers. Buyers are sucked in. And the guys who want to offload some Bitcoin and buy it back cheaper, they're unloading. You've got this divergence here. So, price makes an equal high. You've got this divergence here on the smooth 4 hour. And then you've also got this bearish cross here. So if you look where this happens, the 30 minutes, the orange, has turned bearish. The higher time frame of the 45 minutes, the red one, has turned bearish, and this is bearish as well. So even one cool thing with the indicator, if you can deal with the colors, you can put the current time frame on, the higher time frame, and you'll have all this like agreement of the 3 time frames. So when you're super purple like this, all you're doing is just selling. You can sell anywhere in here. And the same again for here. You've turned bullish here. The current time frame is above the 30 minutes, and then it's above the 45 minutes. And then once you've got full bull, you're around here. So basically all you're doing is just buying and buying, and the market goes up nicely before it starts turning into this purple zone of confusion. And you've got massive divergence here on our vol, and sell signals starting to appear. So back to what the indicator has. So we can turn everything off, and you can have just we can turn all those off, turn all those off. You can have the normal Weis wave histogram, and one cool thing here that you can change is the look back window. So if we go to here, we can change the look back window to maybe a 3 there and a 4 there, and we will see all this change. So here we're bearish, another bearish push, and a weaker bearish push, and then it turns bullish here. So even on these few here, you've got a good indication with the adjusted look back windows on Weis wave. When you add the current time frame WhippTREND with the normal histogram, you can't see it. If I remove the histogram, you can see WhippTREND, and it's because of the actual values. So if we look here at 20,000, when the indicator of WhippTREND is from 100 to minus 100, or 120 to minus 120. So we normalize the Weis wave results, and you can click on that and you get a normalized set of results. And here we do the normalization period, but let's go back to our normal settings of 1 and a 2. And when you actually have this bullish cross, you can see all these little pumps are getting smaller. This one was a big one, and then this one was naff. And that shows you that there's no energy. There's nobody who really has the kahunas to be shorting down there. So the market will inevitably reverse. So that's just a bit of an introduction to WhippTREND. Lots of customizable bits. Just having a play with it, tweaking the indicators, tweaking, you can have a play with the colors, see what you like, turn bar colors off, turn different background colors. Just enjoy the indicator. It's an absolute beast. And if you get your time frames right, there's no telling what you can do with it. So we've agreed to give it out this weekend. Hopefully people can make it a good bit of money, and then maybe join us on their trading journey. If not, consider it as a lovely Christmas gift from all of us at Masters of Trading. But yeah, I mean, once you get your time frames right and your psychology, which is a big thing, and in the near future, we're going to have a partnership with Headspace. So when you're a member with us, you will be automatically enrolled into Headspace for your phone, so you can meditate, and that's another thing for psychology. And obviously our ambition is to be the biggest and the best and the one-stop shop for traders, which obviously next stop for us is the automated services with the robots and the charts on our website, and the indicators that you subscribe to will all be there in one place. News, community, you name it. We just want to be the biggest and the best, and as we say, the one-stop shop for traders. So guys, enjoy that. I know it's early in the month, but we wish you all an exceptional Christmas. Corona or not, we all need to be there for each other and get ourselves through these difficult times. But yeah, please have a lovely Christmas and enjoy the indicator just as much as we do. And yeah, all the best and take care. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.